Thank you, you guys. All right, well, we are talking about unselfish. Being unselfish, unselfish kids, you name it, right? And in a world where we're all very selfish, it can be a little bit tricky. Well, that's where Paul and Sammy Parkinson come into play, and you guys wrote a book, Unselfish Kids. You wrote it together, dad and daughter duo. Thanks for being here, you guys.
Thank you for having us.
Absolutely. So, Paul, let's start with you and what the book is about.
Yeah. Unselfish Kids, it contains 40 short stories of children who've done unselfish things. It's all elementary age children.
Wow.
There's pictures with every story. It's really, we call it a children's book, but we found out that adults, all ages, love the stories. It's inspiring for everyone, but the nice thing is they're true stories. These are not make-believe stories like you usually see in a children's book. These are all real-life stories of kids who have done amazing things.
How amazing. Well, and like you said, of course, if an adult is reading an inspiring story about a 5-year-old kid or something that's done something so amazing, that's pretty impactful. Yeah. So, Sammy, how did you gather all of these stories?
That's kind of been the hardest part of the whole book. We just searched through Google, looked up, kids that have done kind things, or looked throughout social media, reached out to friends and family, and just found stories that have been inspiring to them. So.
And you just came up with this idea, you guys, thinking, okay, we got to do something?
Yeah, so kind of how that came about, I had been going to school and just realized that wasn't really fulfilling what I wanted to do. And I had done 2 different humanitarian trips, and so we had come together. He wrote a book a few years ago called Unselfish. And it was kind of, we just decided, like, what's a way that we can combine my hobbies and my talents and his as well, and so that's where this came.
And the whole family's pretty much in here. I saw you and your brother inside the book, and then who did the illustration on the back?
My youngest brother.
That's TJ's artwork.
So.
I love it. So the whole family, we're all incorporated in there.
Yeah.
Well, let's talk about, you guys came up with 5 different tips that parents can do to help their kids with being unselfish. Let's start with them. What's the first one?
Yeah, so the first one we decided, help your kids be aware. So there was a story, a girl named Chloe Thompson, who she had been passing by homeless people every day to school, and her mom just kind of said, this is why this happens, and it sparked an interest in creating her own nonprofit. And so, yeah, just helping them be aware of their surroundings.
Aware of what's going on.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I like it. Paul, what's our second one?
I think second, there's a principle, I've heard it in one way or another said, we don't exist to see how important or how famous we can become, but to see how much difference we can make in the lives of others. And so I think as our children are, doing sports, doing music, it's great to be accomplished and to do good things, but how can we take that talent and then bless someone else's life? And there's a story about a young boy named Chris, great pianist, who goes each week to care centers and plays the piano. And so it's not just for us to develop these talents. How do we then make someone's life better?
I like it. And in a social media world, that's hard to do, right?
Yeah,
when everybody wants to be famous. So what's number 3?
The third one, so we just said, maybe make conscientious questions to ask them, your kids after school, whether it be, how did you help someone in need today? I think we're very focused on asking how their classes are, or how their
what grade they
sports.
got.
Yeah, exactly. And so I think it kind of takes the focus off of being kind. So just asking them.
Okay,
how they've helped.
Good one. I like it.
And then as well as supporting them. So one thing that we noticed with all of the kids is they had a really great support system, whether that be a parent, a grandparent, a mentor, just someone that kind of helped push them to do those kind of things.
Of course, that always helps. A teacher, whoever it might be, help those around. Paul?
I think lastly, just help these kids realize, again, these are all elementary age children, 4-year-old, 5-year-old, 6, 7-year-old.
Wow.
I mean, they're of all ages. And I think we help them realize if we're going to change the course of the online negative postings and all just the divisiveness, the lack of unity, the kids may be the ones who are going to change this. And we saw this as we've met these children, talked to them, and met many of them in person. They're just so positive. They don't subscribe to this negative vibe that we kind of feel as adults. And so I just think help them realize you're never too young to make a difference, and you very well may be the ones who turn this thing around.
100%. And what I like is when I was looking through the book, so there are a lot of short stories. It's just a picture, and then you've got the story on the other side.
Yeah.
So it's not like it's going to take you a long time, but a good conversation that will start, whether it's at the dinner table or before bed, and you can have that conversation with the kids about what they learned and what maybe they could do the next day at school.
Yeah,
so I love it. Where can they get the book?
Unselfishstories.com is our website. Amazon, there's local bookstores, Desert Book, Coppin's Hallmark stores, so
Love
really
it.
anywhere books are sold.
Well, congratulations, you guys.
Thank
Very
you so
exciting.
much.
Love seeing
Yeah.
what you're doing.
Thank you.
Thanks.
All right, Buddha, what's coming up?